Alrighty. What's going on, guys? It is Thursday, and the market is bouncing up, jumping up for no apparent reason at all. But hey, what the heck? Let's be bullish today. Why the hell not? All right. So, yeah. So I had to go pretty early yesterday, and was just here for like I don't know, half an hour or something like that. But today, brand new day, and let's go ahead and dive right in. Let me share my screen here and get some charts. Boom. Actually, wait 1 second. Just make sure I got everything. There we go. Okay. Share screen. Boom, boom. Share. Alrighty, all true. Now let's get this up here on screen and take a look. Okay. So this is some little bit I did last night. So you see, we actually pulled all the way back to 36.95, bounced off that $3,700 level, and are just continuing to rip up there. $3,700 has been a huge line in the sand all week long, and if we pull back here, you see. So this is right around when I was trading last night. This was actually like right here around midnight, and we were on the decline. We pulled back. This $3,700 level has been a really challenging area this last week or so. We kept running into resistance here, the 3,700 being this red. Running into resistance here over and over. We finally broke out of it yesterday, and we pulled back some to about 3,700, and now we're bouncing off that 3,700 level and currently in an upward swing. We're above the 200 moving average and the volume weighted average price on the 15-minute chart. Let's jump to the 5-minute chart, where both are also true. Getting a big pullback here off this. Where is this resistance showing up at? Just below 37.50. So I'm actually going to look more at like 37.40 or so. 37.45. We're going to throw 37.45 in there as resistance. Right now, our high of the day is 37.74. So that would be the sort of the area, so to speak. You're going to look at the 1 minute. On the 1 minute chart, we actually just switched over to red on the TTM. So we could be getting a little bit of a reversal down. Right now, I'm going to be looking for support showing up at this EMA 35 here. So on the red, on the TTM, as far as the stacking goes, went from, let's see, to 2.7 to 4.4 to 5.7. So relatively decent momentum to the downside. So we are going to be potentially looking at some shorts and whatnot. Still getting that weird issue where it like won't go to the next track. Trying out a new artist today, by the way. Let me know if you guys like some of the music. Some new music in here. So, and if we'd like it, we'll add it to the playlist. Let's get back into the chart. Okay, so 256 to 67. Still got the momentum going downward. We did kind of miss this whole move just because I really wasn't even down here trading. I sit down here because my office is downstairs. But a lot of things looking really bullish today. Okay, we got that bounce off 3,700. That's awesome for support. We did get the 5,200 moving average crossover here, and that's popping up. We do have this little pullback zone here. Hopefully this isn't forming a head and shoulders. Kind of looks like it might, because you can see right here. So right there being the shoulder, this being the head. So if this does form a head and shoulders, then we would pull back and probably drop under this 50 EMA and pull back to like the 200 moving average, or possibly even VWAP. I hope that's not the case. I honestly hope that we continue to rip up, because honestly, I just think for the most part, going long is just easier for me a lot of the time. Doesn't mean it can't go short, but it's just easier for me a lot of the time. We do look like we're getting pretty good support here at the 35. I'm actually going to take a little feeler trade. I'm going to bump this to like 5 ticks, and let's see what's happening with the TTM. 4.4 to 5.6 to 6.8 to 7.8. Still a lot of momentum on that. Should have taken that little feeler trade that we talked about. Okay, from 7.6 to 7.8. Okay, momentum starting to shift down here. I'm going to take that trade, that feeler trade. Definitely lower when I first mentioned it. A little lag on my computer, not much, but some. All right, we've got a yellow candle forming on the TTM. I think that the could have waited on the entry a little bit, but get a possible crossover. This is actually looking pretty nice for a potential move upward. You've got 20 or so seconds left in this candle. $15 seconds. Tapping the 35 yet again. New candle forming now. Possible cross. I'd be looking for this to go upward now. From 7 to, let's see, 7.5 to 7.0. It's looking pretty decent. Jumping in the evaluation here for a second. Let's see, we're on the 100K account. Let's look for a 5-tick move. Pulling back some. Pulling back actually a lot. Rejected that. Wait for this candle to fill back up a little bit, and then I'll cut this. Cut that there. Down 987.50 on the day. I'm gonna wait till I get my vibe right. But this means it's really chill. This is nice. What do y'all think? I'm gonna wait till I get my vibe right in order to actually trade in the evaluation. So before I start jumping into the eval, I'm gonna make sure that I get my vibe right. Start getting sort of like a couple of trades under my belt in this. I like this track. I'm gonna add this one to the playlist. What y'all think? It's very chill, very calm Thursday. I can just picture, some rain outside, just rain pattering on the windows, a nice cup of pumpkin spice, which is not what's in my cup. So definitely pretty large pullback. Um, the dip rip did not work. So we are getting more that head and shoulders saying that I mentioned may happen. And this is definitely looking like that head and shoulders pattern forming. So here's the shoulder one, head, shoulder two. Now, the real big question is, do we hold this 50 moving average? It doesn't look like we're going to. We held the 35 quite well for quite a bit there, and then it just rejected on that on the dip rip, and so much like yesterday, I may need to wait for the cyan switch in order to actually take long trades. So that could be the same situation here. Because even like right down here, you can see that the dip rip didn't work out. And really, we had to wait for the cyan switch in order to actually take these trades right in the zone. Although this one would have worked out here because we got the 9 12 crossover, so that one makes a lot of sense when it worked. So now we're going to be looking for potential crossovers. We are still getting yellow on the TTM, so that's nice. 7.5, 7.4, 7.3, 7.3, 7.1. Not enough momentum to actually take trades for long purposes anyway. I'm looking for 0.7 or higher on the moves. And for a long time, the TTM has been a really, really, really solid way for me to trade. But this week and this week alone, out of all of the weeks that I've been using this, it's been a really challenging, like it's been very challenging using it. I've been dealing with a lot of like inaccuracy and stuff like that. Nothing changed in my settings with it, and maybe it needs to. But I don't know why that's been the situation this week, but it has. 7.3 to 6.8 to 6.1. Okay, now we got a 0.7 move on there, so it's looking a little bit better. I'm going to take a feeler trade here to the long side. Because we went from, what did we go? 7.3 to 6.8 to 6.1 to now 5.7. Look for a 12 tick move, which would be a move just passed up through this 35. So we'll be running into this 37.35, which seems to be resistance right here. Looking at price level. Put this doji at the bottom too. Like I said, a bounce off the 50 would be the next thing. The 35 didn't work. So that would be the hope here. 6.1 to 5.6. What is that? 0.5? No. Yeah, 0.5. Another possible crossover. 9's still below the 12. I'll wait for the 9 to get above the 12 to trade in the eval. 5.5 to 4.9. So we did get that 12 ticks. So that was a $750, I want to say, or so back towards us. Let's see. $5.5 to 4.9, still looking pretty good for a turnaround. I want to see that 9 get above the 12. Jumping into the eval real fast, and gonna zoom in here. Where are we at? 34. There's that 37.35 resistance, which is why I didn't jump in just now on the eval. I wanted to get at 34. I missed the move. Time on this candle. 40 seconds left in the candle. Joining the bid here. For a move up to 36.
Order filled.
Going for 5 ticks. First feeler trade of the evaluation today. Got some ground to make up. I don't like that this is so close to 37.35. 2 seconds left in this candle. Right at break even on this trade. Hold back. The 35 is acting as really strong. There we go. So we did get that trade up 128 in the eval today. Do have some ground to make up, down $130 or so in the eval on the whole. Okay, so we did get that move up. Now I'm going to be looking for the 9 to cross over the 12. And then I'd be looking for the 12 to cross over the 26. So those will be the next moves I'll be looking for. I'd also be looking for the cyan switch here soon. So join the bid there on the sim. And let's make this music. What's up, Tiny? So good to see you. Not sure if you'll trade today, yesterday, and oh no, you fell yesterday? Tiny, so sorry to hear that. Are you okay? I'm sorry this came through like 5 minutes ago. Just focused on the trading, but let's all send Tiny some love and some prayers and some optimism. I hope you're feeling better. Are you like how bad are you hurt? Are you okay? Let us know. We care about you. Let's jump back here real quick. Sitting break even in this trade. Glad it's in the sim. Okay, getting really close to a cyan switch. And that possible crossover. 9 is still not above the 12, but it is very close. Probably going to get that on this candle here. Nice rip up. Heavy resistance at that 35. Cutting that there, just taking that profit off. And then just jumping back over here to take a look at y'all. You're good. Just hurt left side, bruise. Yikes, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Bruise ride for sure. Bruise ride. Tiny ear crack up, man. I'm glad we took that profit off. Back to where we originally started, which was down 112.50 on the day. Because I took a random trade at like midnight while my wife was doing dishes. So does look like we're getting really close to that cyan switch. I don't like that it's outside of the Bollinger Band, but that's okay because if you look down here, same exact situation happened. And then once it switched over to cyan, the second cyan candle had switched to green. So it's a good opportunity. And I do think that we'll break out. I'm going to jump into the evaluation here. And we've got 6 seconds left in this candle, so I'm not going to dive in yet. But I do think the next candle is going to be green with a nice push up. Could be wrong. 9 is now above 12. All of it's getting really close to the 26 crossover. I'm gonna join the bid here. Missed the entry. Damn it. That was the move that I was trying to take advantage of. Fresh cyan candle. Not going to join in now because that literally was the exact move I was trying to take. Here seems okay, but I don't know. Yeah, see. 9 is above 12, so I do think that we're going to get this crossover. It does seem very likely, but now we got to wait. Because I missed that entry. You saw it went green for a second, and that would have been a really nice trade. New cyan, still outside the Bollinger Band. $37.35 acting as really tough resistance. Bears is just like, no, lie to the side to 35. Absolutely not. You shall not pass. I think the next thing that we need is the 1226 crossover. I think without it, I don't know that we're going to get this breakout. So, even though we do have cyan switch, but if you look at it, we went from 0.1 negative 0.1 to positive 0.3. That's only a move of 0.4, and then now we're at 0.5. So it's not enough momentum. You hear me mention I'm always looking for it to be 0.7 or higher. 1.0 is better in order to really gauge that momentum. So and it's got the red dots outside of the Bollinger Band. I think it'll pop, but it could just reject. And actually, if you look at it, 9 actually just dropped below 12. That is not looking good for upward moves. We need this 12 to cross over this 26 in order to solidify this move. 35 acting as support. How you? Have y'all taken any trades? You love the dark voice. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel that like it's like, you know, the breakouts just look like they're gonna happen. Everything just looks like hunky dory on the charts or whatever. And then like there's like a random false break, and you just like I just sometimes just picture some market maker on the other side and like not today. You know, like sometimes it just happens. It's just like, all right, dude, you know, do you, I guess, but you know. All right. We actually ended up with a cooling cyan or a cooling candle. So 0.4, so 0.5 down to 0.4, then up to 0.7. Are we gonna get this crossover, man? It actually just crossed over this moment, but 9 is below 12. It's just like mad weird. I think we need a green dot on the Bollinger Band. On the TTM there, and then I think that we need to get 9 above 12 and all of it above 26. So here's one thing that I'm also looking for too. This blue EMA 35, I'm also looking for that to cross above the 26, because if that does, that's also going to help solidify that upward move. All of these things kind of feel like they're gearing up towards a much larger upward move, but it's not here yet, so to speak. I'm going to actually join the bid here for a sim trade. If it will have me, if you'll accept me. Come on. Just ran right past. Okay, 0.5 to 1.0, looking better. What's the crossover situation? 12, 26 crossover, 9 below 12, 35 roughly about to crossover on there as well. Did get an entry very high up there, but you know, whatever. Got an entry since it like rejected my entry so many times, or just like moved right on past it. So last one was 0.9, now up at 1.4. So movement of 0.5 on the TTM, looking better. I think we can get an entry here. Where am I looking for an entry though? Guess I should have just taken it. What do y'all think of the tunes? You like it? Thoughts? I like this track. Oh, we already added this one. This was the one that we added. It's just a really long song. Huge rip upward. Really wish I would have taken that in the eval. Now getting a pullback. Wouldn't be surprised if it pulled back to like 30, 37 or 35. But looks like we're continuing to break out. Get this doji at the top and above 12, all of it below above 35 now, and so all the indicators are in the right places now. Now it's just a matter of entering. And with this doji going on, I don't know, but I do think that we're going to continue to rip here. 10 seconds left in this candle. New candle now. I'd be looking for this to pull back a little bit. Okay, where's our next areas of resistance? 37.45 likely is our next resistance zone. We had all this consolidation here, which looks great. 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles in a row, hitting a doji here at 37.40. A little bit of resistance there. I don't think it's going to be enough resistance though to hold this back. TTM went from 2.0 to 3.2 to 4.2, which is looking really solid. Up 700 on the day in the sim. Just took a trade there, an entry, looking for 43.25 on the trade there. New candle now. Honestly, could have got a trade in there. Really should have taken it. I'm obviously way more hesitant to take trades, especially when it's like having smaller moves. This is more of what I'm looking for. I'm more hesitant to take trades in the eval than I am in the sim. Something that I'm hoping to correct, but I don't know. The music stops after every track. It drives me nuts. Pulling back now. Currently break even in the sim. Gonna cut it right there on the sim. Up 387.50, so a little bit of a L on that one. Well, exactly an L. Went from 700 down to 387.50, but now we're looking for bounces off the 9. Pulled back a little too far. A little bit here. Got an entry at 37. Looking for another retest of 40. Got a cooling candle on the TTM. Two cooling candles in a row. And went from 5.1 to 4.8 to 4.4. Not much of a cool off there. Took that trade off. We got decent results on that one. So, all in all, good day. Pretty reasonable trades. Getting pretty good results today. I certainly wish I was doing better and bigger, but everything's a little bit at a time. Up 116 in one of our evals, up almost 700 in the sim, and yeah, gotta wait here now. Let's go ahead and pull back and take a look at some of the trends. So, now this is interesting. So taking a look at the 3-minute chart, we've actually been cooling this whole time. And on the 3-minute chart, you can see we actually dipped into the really a lot of cooling in the TTM with red dots forming on the last few candles. Hammer candle here made another pop up and test 3740, but that's pretty significant cooling there. 9 is still above 12, all of it's above 26, but you can see right here we actually got a crossover above the 35, indicating a potential bearish move in the near future. Jumping over to the 5-minute, and 5-minute, we're seeing close to the same thing. 5-minute still has some continuation potential, but yeah, all of it's looking like Tiny said, it's looking kind of sideways now. We are green in the sim, we're green in the evaluation, so a little bit of time is fine with me. I try and be patient. It's kind of challenging because occasionally, I'll have those days where I'm doing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in the sim, and then I try and do the exact same thing in the evaluation, and it just doesn't work out that way. And so that's always kind of frustrating to me. But you know what? We're green all the way across the board, and green is good. And so let's continue to be green. Pulling back even more now on the 1-minute. I haven't gone short on any of this stuff just because I'm not seeing really short trends. But we're up here at the top of the hour. You can definitely see some moves now here very shortly. By the way, guys, if you guys are looking to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. Let me go ahead and pop these guys up on the screen here. But Elite Trader Funding is really, really dope. These are off right now a crazy deal. This is who I'm using right now to earn funding in the futures market. This is their crazy deal, actually, right here. So this goes all the way till October 31st, which is a very long promotion period. But you can actually get 65% off of all of the evaluations that you see here for life. So you can earn up to $300,000 in funding to be able to trade however you like to trade, and you can take 65% off for life. Personally, I think the 50K evaluation is one of the best values in the market. And right now you can get a 50K evaluation for $57.75. So it's more than $100 off of this. And you can take 8 contracts of the mini, 80 micros, and you only have a profit target of $3,000 in order to earn that funding. You can take that discount off of everything you see here, with the exception of the fast tracks. But the fast tracks right now are also on sale, particularly only this 100K eval, which you can see it's $45 for a 25K or $50 for a 100K. So it's literally $5 more to get 75,000 more dollars in funding accessible to you. It's pretty crazy. If you use the link in the description, you must use that link in the description and the promo code JSVEST, and you'll get that discount applied directly. There's also discounts on resets right now. Everything is completely discounted right now, and so you guys are definitely going to want to take advantage of that. The cheapest account that I think you can get is like $28. So it's really insane deal. Um, so $28 a month, if you can afford that, like more or less, if you can afford these days 3 cups of coffee at Starbucks, then you can afford a 10K evaluation. Absolutely, just incredible deal. I mean, if you can afford to eat out one time in a month, $28, you can get access to 10K and start earning an evaluation. And by the way, if you do happen to fail an evaluation, um, you don't necessarily have to pay for a reset in order to continue trading. Okay. You can just wait until your rebill the next month and it'll still be at that discounted price and it will automatically reset for you and you can try again. So it is just a significantly less expensive way to get involved. $28 is nothing to get access to 10K. It is really inexpensive. So if you can find anything in your budget to be able to do that, I don't know if you go out once or twice or 3 times in a month, um, or whatever, but it's significantly inexpensive in order to get access to that. So make sure you guys check that out, and if you guys are looking to earn that funding, let's take a look at these charts. Still continuing to cool on the TTM. I'm somewhat inclined to look at this 3-minute chart here and be like, yo, the trend is beginning to form towards downward trend. We are past the top of the hour and no significant volume movement in either direction. There's actually pretty strong volume today, all things considered. Like you can see, here's my blue line in the sand, if you will, for volume, and you can see that there's plenty of volume happening today, which is great. It's a really good thing. We want that volume because that is the best indicator of actual movement. My nose is kind of stuffy. 1 second. Just going out. Blow nose. All right, I'm back. We have like some of the worst air quality in the entire globe right now here in the Pacific Northwest. Basically, there's all these forest fires happening, and there's been no rain for months. The PNW is notorious for raining like every day, like every single day, like pretty much that we have rain, and I don't know. There's been no rain since just about May, and these forest fires are messing with everybody. So it's kind of nuts. Um, 3-minute kind of bouncing a little bit. We are red on the TTM, but not by much. I wouldn't be surprised if this whole area here just ends up being consolidation and then bounces up past it. I'm not willing to go like heavy in trades, especially in the eval. But it looks like we're doing okay on the 3. 1 minute. Let's see how we're doing here. Cooled off almost completely. Did get 26 cross back above the 12. This is why, first off, this is why I really like the 35 moving average. You can see right here where the 35 crossed above it, and really just kind of indicated that that upward, but it's more so demonstrated back here where before this really big move, the 35 crossed over right here where just about everything crossed over and indicated that, hey, we're going to have a really strong move, and it did. That's why I use these moving averages, is really just to be able to predict a lot of the moves before they happen. This actually looks more like consolidation to me. I wouldn't be surprised if we get continued rippage here shortly. Usually see that stuff at the top of the hour, but we got no significant move. Really, 8 o'clock, we had this big back here off of 37.40, but that was kind of it, and it wasn't even that big of a pullback. It dropped about $6, $7, which is pretty a lot if you were in that trade, but kind of petering out a little bit up here. That 40 is going to be pretty strong resistance, but it's really like this range from like 40 to like 35. This area, this range area here is going to be pretty challenging to break out of. If we do, it's going to be awesome. And I think that we'll just continue to see more moves up. I don't know what's up with my epidemic sound, dude. It's just not going to the next track, which just is really, really annoying. But this one didn't do it because it's only going to the latest tracks. So literally, it's just a couple of them. So let's go here, and maybe it'll just continue. Tell me if you guys like any of the tunes that we've been getting. Nice breakout. 3740 resistance yet again, but nice little breakout there. Red dot on the TTM. TTM has cooled all the way from 5.6 down to 0.8 on the positive side. Jumping 3. On the 3 minute, 0.1, 0.4, 1.2 on the red side. So momentum stacking towards a potential downward move on the TTM on the 3. But I don't know how much that's going to be a factor, because this honestly turned to a yellow and rip back up. Because it's pretty much like, I've seen it do that plenty of times. This song sounds a little louder than the other tracks. Turn it down on my side. I don't know what the volume's like, you guys. 5 minutes, still continuing to cool. 5 minute had run up to 23 at the big pullback area here. And over the last few minutes, or last few 5 minute candles, it went from pause 21 to 20 to 18 to now 16. So that's a factor of 2 on the 5 minute chart. It's quite a lot. It's cooling. Right now, it's just sideways, and it may continue to be sideways here for a while. And then we've seen this happen a lot this month, where basically what will happen is we'll have this big move from like 645 up to like 720-ish, and then it'll just go sideways for pretty much most of the day until we get to like 11 a.m., which is 2 p.m. market time. So it'll do that to like 11 a.m. All of a sudden it'll make big moves. Which is really frustrating because honestly, who wants to sit here all day and just watch charts? I like trading, I do, but there's only so much of it I can do in a day. It's kind of like, I love cheesecake, but I can only eat so much cheesecake in a day, You know what's one thing I like about tea? That if it gets cold, it still doesn't taste bad. Coffee's like, I love coffee, but it kind of gets bad after if it gets cold. How you guys doing today, by the way? Are you red? Are you green? Are you even trading? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that stuff. But that's not actually what I was going to say. What I was going to say is if you guys have some trade ideas and trade suggestions, then, by all means, let's talk about it. Used to just for this 16 hours a day when I first started. Yeah, Tiny, I actually did the same thing. I get up at 4 a.m. and I would watch the charts till closing time in the stock market till like 1, and sometimes even after that to like 2 or 3. So I'd be there almost like 10 to 12 hours a day. It was just like just just in there. Like honestly, like I would do that, and then it never helped me. I actually learned that the more that I narrowed the time that I trade, the better I got at trading. Somewhat green options swing on Pixie. Uh, I think her wings will get clipped and she drops to Earth soon. Um, I actually don't know much about options. I wish I did. A lot of people talk about it. I know I could educate myself, but I spent a lot of time educating myself on dividend investing. That was my first initial foray into the stock market. Actually, my first, let me rephrase that. My first trading that I ever did was in the year 2010. Um, and all my trades were profitable by modern day standards. But because the fees were so high to trade stocks, I ended up losing money on the trades. So I was making money on the actual trades themselves, but losing money to all the fees, and essentially whittled down my account. Got frustrated with it and distracted in life, and just stopped and just left a few things there, and my investment account basically went to crap. So then in like 2019, I started really dialing in and learning a lot about investing, learned a lot about dividend investing, and went pretty heavy on that. Um, and then I started trading stocks consistently right before the pandemic. Like literally, I started in January. Like January and February, and then the pandemic was really starting to gain momentum in February, and by like March, then it was like everyone was like, "Oh my God, we might get the flu. It's gonna be bad." Um, and so that happened, and then obviously the pandemic was a crazy time to trade. A lot of people made insane money. Um, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that I've been trading that long. I traded for about 3 months in 2010, and every trade that I was doing was profitable. Like I'd get in at $10 and get out at $11, but because the fees were like so high back then, dude, like it was like you have to pay to get in, pay to get out, just like you do with futures. But like even like futures don't even hold a candle in terms of what their fees are to what they were back then. Like I was paying like $7 for the entry, plus you pay per share. So like by the time that I would get the entry, I would already be down like $25 just to enter, and then like another $25 to exit. So I was like, okay, well, there goes $50 just to do the trade. It was just like it was just nuts, man. Like how much they charge for fees. I'm like, you can't even do this unless you're like trading like tens of thousands of dollars. I'm like, I was like, what a racket back then. That honestly really discouraged me from trading. And frankly, I did not know what I was doing by any stretch of the imagination. But um, yeah, like it was just exactly, man. Like you couldn't even enter the market unless you were entering with like 25, 30 grand. Like and even at that point, like your fees, like because you're paying per share plus entry fees and exit fees, it's like a cover charge for going to a restaurant or a club. It's just like let's. Uh, it's just it really was designed, in my opinion, to keep people out of the markets. And I think it was pretty whack. Uh, when they started offering, the payment for order flow, Robinhood and all that. Like when Robinhood did that, they changed the game. Like I love them or hate them, as far as Robinhood, they did disrupt the industry for the better, in my opinion. They democratized um, trading. They democratized stocks and investing for the general populace. And love them or hate them, they did that. And they changed everything for it. And there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of more traders that have been able to get access to the market based off of what they did. Um, and for that alone, I will always appreciate that they entered into that market and disrupted that industry in that way, because they made trading possible for everyday people, and you didn't have to mortgage your house in order to, or pull out a second mortgage or something like that on your house in order to be able to enter into the markets, unless you were just already like a 7-figure earner, you know. And so it's just, to me, I think that they really a lot of change for the better as a result. Market's still going sideways, which is one of the reasons why we're not up on these charts. Um, you can see it's pretty much just been this kind of sideways momentum. Um, we did drop below 37.35. Not heavy momentum to the downside. And we're even kind of like in between, like a dip rip here. So went from 3.3 to 4.1 to 4.4 to 4.2, and now sitting at 4.4. So we'll cross over on there as well. On the 26, not below 12, and 35 is below 26. 35 is still above 50 though, which is helpful for upward move. But currently there's just no real move at the moment. As long as this 35 maintains above this 50 though, I still think that we have more potential to the upside than we do to the down. But it's going to be a while yet. I actually didn't realize that the 50 had actually crossed below the 200 moving average back there. Then we got this crossover back up. The 200 has been above the VWAP all day, which is interesting, because if you remember, we were talking about that theory where, and it's just definitely not a confirmed theory. Whereas if the 200 happens to be above the VWAP, would it eventually end up in bearish move? That was a question that I had been asking myself and asking the chat a few weeks back, and just wondering if that would be the case. It doesn't look like that just based off today, it doesn't look like that would be the situation, but who knows? It's definitely like just a interesting question to me. Okay. From 4.1 to 4.4 to 4.2 to 4.7, 4.8, 5.0. We are getting more downward movement on the TTN, but it's like at like 0.2. Like it's like very minimal movement down. Let's check the 3. 0.4, 1.2, 2.2, 3.3, 3.5, 4.6. Now, the longer, this is something that I don't think I've ever talked about before, but the longer the time frame of your chart, whether it's 3 or 5 or whatever, the higher the gap momentum, if you will, is necessary on the TTM in order to see momentum type moves. Um, so to give an example, here where we had this big move up, zoom in here a little bit. TTM went from at the very beginning 0.4 pause to 2.9 to 5.7. So you can see it's more of like on the 1 minute chart, I'm looking for like 0.7 to like 1.4 ish. And on the 3 minute chart, I'm looking for more like 2.0. And on the 5 minute chart, it's even more. So if we go out to the 5 minute chart here, where this first started happening, went from 0.7 to 6.8. So you see what I'm saying? Like, God, my nose is itchy. All the smoke is like getting to me. So you can see that the bounce in the TTM is significantly higher the longer term the chart is. So if we go out to like a 15-minute chart, and we take a look at this rip here, we went from negative 0.9 to positive 3.5, all the way up to 8.2. So factor of 5, as opposed to what we're looking for on the 1 minute chart, which is like a 0.7 or a 1.0 or something like that. We've been pulling back pretty heavily, by the way, on the 15-minute chart, where I've actually pulled back all the way to the 200 moving average. And hopefully we would see bounces off that 200 moving average there. But pretty dull last half hour. Actually, nice, like pretty large pullback here in the last like few minutes. We pulled all the way to this 200 moving average on the right there. So 4.852 and then 6. So right on this, like this candle here, we've just got like a lot of momentum to the downside just now. And we did kiss the 200 moving average. We're kind of bouncing off that, but it's definitely looking more toward for more movement on the day. So kind of interesting. How bad is the smoke here? It is pretty bad. My sister-in-law is a Mount Lake Terrace and said it got worse yesterday. So I definitely don't want to like reveal my location completely, but in the Pacific Northwest, on the western side of the Pacific Northwest, it's pretty bad. Like I was looking at the air assessment or air quality assessment charts globally, and for all the countries that report, which is pretty much North American countries, Europe, parts of India, Japan, and Korea. Out of all those places, this in the Pacific Northwest was by far the worst air quality on Earth at the particular point in time. Like we were in the like 250s, up towards northern Washington State was all the way up near the 400s. The higher the number, the worse it gets, and the scale only really goes to 500. So up towards the northern parts of Washington State was in like 400 to like 415 area. Absolutely just like totally listed as very unhealthy, borderline toxic. So is very bad where I'm at. And so, I've got a lot. I've got my little snake plants trying to help purify the air. This one's my rabbit snake plant because he's got the bunny ears. But he might end up in the background actually eventually. But there's a lot of I'm also looking at investing in a lot like air purifiers in every room, and I'd actually been meaning to do that for a very long time. For those of you who know my story, know that I suffer like from super life-threatening asthma. I've been on life support at least 3 times from it. I I I've had doctors tell my mom that I was dead, and that I would not be coming back to life, before when I was a kid. And then I came back to life in front of her. She was like crying her eyes out, and so like, uh, and obviously that's where I got my brain injury from, was due to asthma and whatnot. So I tend to keep up on stuff like that. What is the air quality like? And I'm typically like, I've had a lot of air purifiers in the past, but I'm trying to find ones that are like filterless, that are also really high quality, but also aren't like in the like 700 to like $1,000 range. Because dropping like $1,000 per room is just kind of crazy to me. So it's like, you find that balance, find that trade off. Um, Yeah, I did see that the Bolt Creek fire, which is like causing a huge amount of issues in the PNW, is getting more and more contained. But they basically said that they can't fight it up on the mountains, so they pretty much just need to contain it and let it burn out. Just because the mountains are just so steep here in the Pacific Northwest. Um, Mother-in-law tongue is what they call that plant. Yeah, they also call it snake plant. It has a bunch of names, but okay. So we did get a bounce off that 200, and switching back over to the tuner moving out. Sorry, had to get the music going again. Very frustrating. I gotta like contact the music company and see if they know what the issue is. So it kissed this 200 moving average here on the 1 minute chart and pulled back up a little bit. Ran into resistance at the 35. So the 200 moving average being right around 37.20 and the 35 being at 37.30. So it's like a $10 range that this is moving in. And you can see volume is still good. It's kind of right on the line and a little above sometimes. This is looking like we may get a crossover here. This would have been a nice move from our dip rip perspective. So we went from -7.2 to -6.8, to 6.3 to 5.3, which is looking really solid. Gonna join the bid here, and we're looking for a move up to about the 35 moving average. I'm gonna jump into the evaluation right here and see if we can take advantage of this. Getting close to a cyan switch as well. Kind of missed the entry here, but still may have an opportunity. 30 seconds left in this candle. Running into resistance at 37.30. I don't like it. It's so close to the dollar amount there. Close to a cyan switch as well. 3.7 to 2.4. It's looking pretty solid. So we did just make that 12 tick move on the in the sim. Pulling back now. Next move would be cyan switch, and 37.35 is about the area that I'd be looking for. I'd be expecting this one to pull back a little bit and then bounce above it. 9 still below 12, but very close to breakout. This is the 8:30 move. $20 seconds left in this candle. Getting a hammer candle form. Intuition said to take it. Got to follow that more. Trying to. It's not always easy though. New candle now. Let's take a look at this. It's got a fresh cyan for the cyan switch. Missed the entry on the eval. Cut it. Now we gotta look for another entry. Missed that move. That really frustrates me because we really kind of sat here for a long time trying to get this move. Next, I'd be looking for a pullback maybe to like the 50 moving average and then bounce off that. But that honestly would have been a really solid move. Nice big rip up. Fresh cyan candle from 0.7 to 2.3. Man, that's a pretty strong move. Join the bid here in the sim. Looking for a move up to 37 and moving back over here to the eval. Want to see this pullback and then try and grab an entry point here. And I'm gonna go for 7 ticks.
Order filled.
Join the bid there at 34.25. 2 seconds left in this candle. Hands over the cover button. Looking for a pop up off this next candle here. I don't like that it's opening red. Come on, switch green. For a move up at 36. Hands over the cover button. Dropping my move down to only a few ticks now. $15 seconds left in this candle. Again, I don't like that this opened red. Come on. Cutting it.
Order filled.
That sucks. That puts us red $42 on the day in the eval. I really thought that was going to pop there, but looks like we're getting this pullback. I do think that this is going to continue to pop, but $10 ticks. What is 10? It's $2.50. $20 seconds left on this. Two-10 build was 2-2 to 3-2 to 3-9. So it is looking really solid on the move.
Order filled.
Got the entry at 34.25. Look for a move up to 36.75.
Order filled.
So looking for like a $2.50 move up. Might be a little too aggressive, but I'm trying to get 10 ticks out of this. Cut it right there.
Order filled.
So puts us back in green on the day of 48.84. Definitely should have waited for this full pullback or possibly just held on to the trade because 36 was my initial exit point. Although, I guess we got a better entry on this slightly. Or we got the same entry, actually. Yeah, it's the same. So really just didn't need to take this L here. Running into resistance at 35. We're still in this trade in the sim. And probably going to cut this in the sim. Should have broke out right there. Honestly, this is us. 3 minute, we have a possible crossover. On the 3 minute chart, we are switching over to, so went from 3.4 to 2.9. Not enough momentum on the 3 minute chart. Really only half a point. But a 9-12 crossover on the 3 minute would look really strong. We've got this doji at the top on a 3, which I don't like. I don't like dojis at the top because it usually indicates downward movement. 5 minute chart, though, we've actually turned red on the TTM. So, being as that's the case, I may throw this just into profit zone and just see if we can get out of this with profit. If not, we'll cut it. Next 5 minute candle at 45, which is in 1 minute. Cutting it there. Up 950 on the day now. Failed to break out off that level, 37.35 being way super strong resistance. But we are still green on the day in both the evaluation and the simulator. So still looking good in that regard. I appreciate the encouragement, Tiny. I really do. By the way, guys, if y'all are looking for an awesome community, there's people like Tiny and Art and a bunch of other awesome people inside of our Discord group. And you guys should definitely join into our Discord group. It's joelstraight.com/Discord. But there's also just a link directly in the description. You can join in and come hang out. We're a group of people who are encouraging, we're optimistic, hence the name Optimistic Futures. And we talk about everything from trading to dividend investing to stocks to Forex, not yet, but probably soon in the future, to entrepreneurship. If you're interested in building a digital business or developing your own entrepreneurship business, what that looks like to you, this is certainly a community to come in here and talk about those ideas. Certainly, we are small and we're growing at the moment. And over the next 3 months, we're just going to be focusing on that growth and trying to make that community a little bit better each and every day. But yeah, join in that group. And around the turn of the year, when we go into 2023, you'll see that we're going to be scaling up a lot in the YouTube channel and the group and sources and everything like that that's available to you guys. So right now, we're just very much, you could call it in beta, if you will, but we're just kind of in the growth phase, just the very beginning stages of everything. So if you guys want to be a part of that, join in the Discord group and come hang out with us, say what up, and we'd love to have you guys there. Just taking a look at the charts, continuing to drop in the charts here. So really pretty heavily rejected that 35. Did pull down to about the 37.30 range. But this is looking like it may drop even further. You can see the 9 actually just crossed. It's still above the 12. It's crossed below 35. And now the 9 just crossed below the 12. This is looking more like potential short area here. I'm actually going to take a quick short, and I don't want it to be 12 ticks like it's on right now. I'm just going to go for like 3 ticks to the down, and we'll see what we get. But this is looking like potential for short. I don't normally like to change my bias in the middle of the day, but with all this sort of sideways move and then this this pullback to the 200, the fact that this bounced so well off the 200 though makes me think more bullish on the day. But for this area here, I was expecting a little bit more short pressure. What the hell is that sound, man? Not in any trades. It makes this sound like I just failed the evaluation, and it just scares the ever-living crap out of me. Because I've failed the evaluation before, and it's like the exact same sound, and it just, every time it happens, I'm like, oh my god, did I leave a trade open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles in a row. Probably should not have taken this short here. After that many red candles. But we are cooling on the TTM pretty heavily. Went from 5.6 to 4.7 to 3.6. So there's still a lot of opportunity for this to continue short. There is 10 seconds left in this candle. Just waiting for it to resolve. I still think this short will play out. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll find out here in a second. Nope, I'm wrong. Cutting it. Still up 262.50 on, yeah, 262.50 on the day, but certainly gave back a lot of profit on that last trade and the 2 trades prior. So we're coming up on 9 o'clock, and we've been streaming for quite some time. But this sideways movement in the market, more or less ranging, if you will, from this 37.30 up to 37.35 and just kind of like back and forth, is honestly making it kind of challenging to trade when there's no clear path of whether or not the bulls or the bears are going to be in control. So, being as that's the case, we may look to see if there's another move available. Rejecting at the 50 moving average, pulling back some. We'll see if this 9 gets above the 12. If it does, more long opportunities. If it doesn't, then we're looking for more short. But positive in the evaluation today, positive in the sim. We did take an extra trade in the eval that I kind of wish we didn't, because it was an unnecessary L. And honestly, we could have just held through the pullback and we would have been fine. But still ending the day positive in the evaluation. So green is good. Green is good in the sim. Far cry from doing this last like 2 weeks, where we were, ending the days up $3,500 or so. But the movement's just been kind of weird this whole week. My Chaikin money line is bullish, and headed up on the 1 minute chart. I don't know what Chaikin money is, so I'll have to figure that out, whatever that is. Getting a pop off that zone there. We've been streaming close to an hour, and the last couple of trades that we've taken have been L's. So I may take the money and run, and just be happy to end the day green today, and go from there. So, all right, Optimus, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down there. But before I go, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and make sure that you check out Elite Trader Funding, guys. Elite Trader Funding is super dope. And like I said, they're running an insane promo right now, giving you 65% off of all of the evaluations that you see here. You can earn funding all the way up to 300K and take 65% off for life. I want you to remember, I'm just going to repeat that one more time. 65% off for life. For life. Repeated it 2 times. Right now, guys, personally, I think the 50K value is one of the best values in the market right now. Normal price is 165, which is competitively priced across the board through other prop trading firms. However, with the 65% off for life, you actually can bring it down all the way to $57.75. Absolutely ridiculously cheap, and allows you to take 8 contracts in the mini, 80 of the micro, with a profit target of only $3,000 and a drawdown of $2,000. Quite a lot given to you for very little money. But if you're on a budget and you need to make this even less expensive, you can also check out the 10K eval, which you can get for $28. So if you go out for like teriyaki or something like that once a month, this would pay for it. That would pay for this whole thing. 3 cups of coffee at Starbucks or whatever. That would pay for your 10K eval. And that would give you access to actually earn funding and get started and start earning funding in the futures market. And profit target is only $1,250. Pretty easy to get to. I think that y'all can do it. I absolutely believe in you. In addition to that, they've also got fast tracks on sale. The 100K eval is only $50 versus the 25K, which is at $45. Kind of a no-brainer. Definitely jump up to the 100K because it's $5 more for another $75,000. So insane deals available to you guys right now with Elite Trader Funding. If you all want to earn funding in the futures market, take advantage of it. Those deals end on October 31st, Halloween, spoopy day. So once that spoopy happens, once spoopy season ends, then so do the deals. As they put it, all treats, no tricks. I don't know. That's their jam. And you know what? They're right. It's certainly a hell of a treat. So guys, with all that said, I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. And make sure you join the email mailing list so you can hear from me and get content that you're not going to get anywhere else on the internet. All right, guys. Peace out, and we'll see you in the Discord group. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.